Sunday night is a night of relaxation here on BBC Two, as Ray Mears ventures into the Canadian Rockies in his quest to cover the continent at night. First though, it's time to put on our thinking caps as Philosophy Week continues in an examination of language, with a promise of a few games on the side as well.
There are many ways in which people talk about God, and a wide variety of language is used. The great debate between philosophy and religion is how one talks of God in any meaningful way. Ludwig Wittgenstein was one philosopher who believed that the problems with meaning arise when language is forced from its proper home and into a metaphysical environment where all the familiar, necessary landmarks and contextual clues are absent, removed perhaps for what appear to be philosophical reasons, but which lead, for Wittgenstein, to the source of the problem. Born on the 26th of April 1889 in Vienna to a wealthy Austrian family, he studied engineering in Berlin, and by 1908 he was working on the development of jet engines at Manchester University. Wittgenstein's interest in philosophy really started during the First World War. Captured as a prisoner of war, he wrote the notes that would eventually form his famous book, Tractatus Logico Philosophicus. It was here that he developed his theory of language games. Wittgenstein suggested that the meaning of words is determined by the language games of which the words are part. By that, he meant that a word's meaning is context-bound and relative to the meaning of other words used alongside them.
To explain his idea in simpler terms, the vocal indicate that Wittgenstein endeavours en route to transmit to the passive participles is that vocal communication in the direction of the consumer is meaningful, hitherto solitary to the client and its untailored partaker. To a great akin to an idiom amusement, this is publicised from first to last paradigm of two artisans. As we can perceive, even though to us this makes negative understanding, it does in the direction of the artisans. Moreover, this is moderately in vein of a relativist retort to the lingo issue of, is sacred speech evocative?
For Wittgenstein, words perform a function in a language. They do not just simplify an object. Take a game of chess. Rules state how all the pieces can move. However, to talk about how the queen or pawns should move only makes sense in the context of a game of chess. For instance, I cannot approach the king and tell him, "You may only move one space in every direction."
Wittgenstein uses the phrase language games to express the idea the words only make sense in the context of a background of other words that belong to the same game. If the concept of language games is applied to religious language, it reveals a very different theory of meaning from verification theory.